Hi everybody, it's Nikki here and welcome to a bookish video. So today it is my July book haul video and are we surprised at all? I bought more books than I was supposed to. It's almost become a joke now. Last year I was doing so well with my point system, I was sticking to it, was doing really well with it, but for some reason this year I either don't buy many books at all or I go completely nuts. July I went completely nuts, but we do have some exceptions to my book allowance, which for July I had a book allowance of 6 books, so there was a lot. I could buy quite a few books, and it seems like because I was allowed to buy 6 books, I went, what's a few more? But the thing is that we do have some exceptions to my book allowance. Those are pre-orders, gifted books, and books that I buy and read in the same month. So they don't count towards my book allowance. So I have already read some of these books that I have bought. So it's not too bad. My book allowance was 6 and I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. So only 4 outside of my book allowance. not that bad, really. However, I did not accumulate enough rollover points to accommodate the fee that I had to pay in points towards those excess 4 books. So my rollover points for next month is actually for the first time in a negative. So next month, when I accumulate my points for whatever I read in August, my rollover points are minus 45. So I will have to deduct 45 points off my points allowance next month. That might come to bite me in the arse later on. So yeah, it's not good, and this is not a trend I need to get into. So I will leave a link to the point system that I use in the description box down below. It is one that is devised by one of my lovely subscribers called Karen, and she allowed me to use her point system, and I did do a video on that. So the link will be in the description box below the video if you want to understand what I'm talking about. So let's go into the allowances first. So the exceptions, should we say. So let's start with the pre-orders. The first one I pre-ordered was The Society for Soulless Girls by Laura Stephen. Absolutely had to pre-order this when I knew it was coming out. This is a Jekyll and Hyde sapphic retelling about female rage, and it is just phenomenal. I did read this in July because it was actually my star book for July and I won the star token, so I was able to read this straight away as soon as it came in. And my goodness, it did not disappoint. So if you want to know my thoughts and feelings about this, please check out my July reading wrap up, which should be up before this video. So absolutely love this book. I completely 100% support Laura Stephen all the way since I read her The Exact Opposite of Okay, which she published back in 2019, I want to say, and I have absolutely loved her writing ever since then. So I will always champion her books, but she never disappoints me. She hasn't done a bad book for me yet. I have not rated any of her books less than 4 stars. So she's a top-notch author for me. I love her to bits. Good news for the American audience. An American publisher has now picked up The Society for Soulless Girls, so you should be getting this in fall of 2023. I don't know why it's taking them a year to get it published over there. I don't know, maybe there's a lot of like red tape and stuff that they have to go through. I don't know. I'm not in the publishing world, but sadly for my American audience, you've got another year to wait before you can read this, unless you can get hold of a UK copy. So It is sad, but it will be worth the wait, I promise you. Jekyll and Hyde, sapphic retelling about female rage. Brilliant feminist book done perfectly. With a humour, with a sense of humour that just hits the right places all the time. So yes, I purchased this. I also pre-ordered the Final Strife. Look at that. This is by Sarah El Arifi. And this one says, the Actibar, a set of trials held every 10 years to find the next Ember rulers of the Empire, is about to begin. All can join, but not just anyone can win. It requires great skill and ingenuity to become the future Ember Wardens of strength, knowledge, truth, and duty. Sylar was destined... I'll start that again. Sylar was destined to win the trials and become Warden of Strength. Stolen by blue-blooded rebels as an infant, she was raised with a duster's heart, forged as a weapon to bring down the Empire from within. When her adopted family were brutally murdered, those dreams of a better future for all turned to dust. But Sylar wasn't made to sparkle. She was born to burn. And as the trials draw near, it's time for her to decide, will she rule the Empire or destroy it? And we have some gorgeous end papers on this Waterstones edition. So yeah, and a beautiful white front. So yeah, this sounded just so exciting and definitely like epic, and I fell in love with that cover. Let's be honest, it's absolutely stunning. So yeah, I bought that one, or pre-ordered it. Next, I'm gonna go on to the books that I bought and read in July. So these were exceptions as well. I was not gifted any books in July. So yeah, we'll go straight on to the books that I bought and read in July. The first of those is Nara and the Immortal Palace by M.T. Khan. Again, I give a review of this in my July reading wrap-up. And this is based, I believe, on a Muslim kind of belief and setting. So it says, beware the glittering world. Nara has worked all her life in the Meeker mines, hoping to someday find a legendary buried treasure, the demon's tongue. But when a terrible accident traps her best friend Faisal underground, she determines to save him and crosses over into the magical and treacherous realm of the jinn. It is a beautiful middle grade story that I wish I'd had as a child to read. Then I was on a bit of a mermaid kick because of the Mermaid Marathon. So I bought a little novella called The Merman's Kiss by Tamsin Leigh. And this one is basically about a woman who, at the beginning of the story, is trying to get a little bit intimate with her husband, only he's not really that interested. Then we cut to the fact of her attempting suicide by jumping off a bridge. However, when she enters the water, a merman comes to her, and the rest of the story happens underwater. So he takes her back to his lair. It's a romance. It's kind of erotica, almost erotica. It's erotica. Let's face it, it's erotica, and there's a little bit of a plot, a very interesting little bit of a plot. But yeah, I thoroughly love this, so I bought that one. Carrying on with the mermaid kick, I bought the first book, and you'll see in a moment, The Vicious Deep by Zoraida Cordova. This is her debut novel, and when I discovered that Zoraida Cordova had written a mermaid book, or merman book as it is, I had to purchase it because I absolutely love her incendiary duology, and I just had to pick this up. It's not as good as Incendiary, but this is her debut, and you can definitely see her raw talent here and how it's progressed into Incendiary, which I absolutely love and gave 5 stars. This one didn't quite reach 5 stars for me, but I am happy that I will be continuing this series, and you'll see in a moment why. I did not manage to get book 2 in July. That actually came beginning of August, so it's actually going to be in my August TBR haul. Ah, sod it, I'll show you now. So I did get book 2, and also, I might as well show you all 3 together. And book 3, so I did get book 2 and book 3 as well. Book 2 actually came from America, so I actually didn't get this until the first week of August. And it is, annoyingly, a slightly different size. Can you see that? It's just slightly bigger. I think you might be able to see it there. Can you see that slight difference? Hang on. So there. You see just a slight difference in height, and a slight difference in width as well, which is really annoying. Oh, hang on. Okay, so the whole set, the first 2 books are obviously from the first set, and then the 3rd book is slightly smaller, and slightly thinner. You see, that's just not quite the same size as the other 2, but yeah, these were very hard to get hold of. Amazon was the only place I could find them, and as I say, book 2 actually came from America, whereas these 2, book 1 and book 3, were coming from somewhere in the UK, or at least they got here quicker, so I assume they were from the UK. But yeah, these were very hard to get hold of, but I knew that I definitely wanted this trilogy because mermaids and, well, mermen and, well, both. And it's by one of my favourite authors, Zoraida Cordova. So yeah, I did purchase this Vicious Deep trilogy. But I only read the first book of that. I have not read books 2 and book 3, so they were not exceptions. They had to be counted. And the last book that I purchased and read in July was Curse of the Wolf King by Tesssonia Adet. And this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling in the Entangled with Fae series. So I bought this because the 3rd book in the series does deals with Selkies. But I wanted to read the books in order, so I got the first book to read. And I was so intrigued by it that I picked it up and read it in the month of July, and absolutely loved it. So yeah, highly recommend this series as well. So that is that one. That one reads very, very similar to A Court of Thorns and Roses. So that's that. Then we go on to the books that I bought. That were not exceptions. They were part of my book allowance or excess books. So the first of those is another mermaid book, and I had planned to read this in the month of July. I ran out of time, and it is All the Murmuring Bones by A.G. Slatter. Yeah, shiny cover. I have been after this book for a long time. It has been on my Amazon wish list for so long, and I was kind of hoping that someone, my husband, my daughter, anybody that I gave my wish list to would buy it for me, knowing that it's a mermaid book, but nobody did. So I ended up giving in and buying it for myself. It says, long ago, Mirren O'Malley's family prospered due to a deal struck with the Mer, safety for their ships in return for a child of each generation. But for many years the family have been unable to keep their side of the bargain and have fallen into decline. Mirren's grandmother is determined to restore their glory even at the price of Mirren's freedom. A spellbinding tale of dark family secrets, magic and witches, and creatures of myth and the sea, of strong women and the men who seek to control them. From that synopsis, I'm getting the Sea Women vibes again, which I absolutely loved. That's here on my shelf here. Which was a recent release. So I am excited to read this and see what happens. It is a mermaid book, so I cannot wait to get to it. Maybe if there's another mermaid marathon again in the future, maybe it can go on to that TBR. Or if I get the mermaid book prompt in Bookgammon, then maybe this could be a contender to pick up then as well. Yeah, I'm very, very excited to get to this book at some point. Then I picked up this just in passing in, where was he? Where did I pick you up from? I don't honestly remember where I picked this up from. This might be from the works, I'm not 100% sure. It's Jack the Ripper, The Murders and the Myths by Gavin Baddeley and Paul Woods. So obviously it says 5 brutal murders shocked London in the summer and autumn of 1888. They have never been forgotten. So it says terrifying and unignorable. This is the ultimate book on Jack the Ripper. So yeah, it's another book about Jack the Ripper and his crimes. I do have the 5 by, is it Holly Hadley or something? I'll put the name of it on here, which specifically talks about the victims of Jack the Ripper, and I thoroughly enjoyed that book. Jack the Ripper is obviously a very notorious killer in London, and he was never caught. And there's been a lot of books about him, and I am interested in learning a bit more and getting to know more details, so hopefully this will give me some insight. Next, another book that I picked up, I did pick this up in Waterstones. This is Circus of Wonders by Elizabeth McNeill. Now, originally, I do believe that this was a book that I wanted to pick up in hardback, because the hardback edition in Waterstones had this gorgeous sprayed edges edition, and I wanted to pick it up, but I never got there in time to collect one. So now that it's come out in paperback, I figure, you know what, I was interested in it because of those sprayed edges. Let's see if I'm actually interested in the story. So it says England 1866, when Jasper Jupiter's Circus of Wonders arrives in a coastal village, Nell soon catches a showman's eye. Shunned by her community because of the birthmark speckling her skin, to Jasper she is a prize. She could be his very own leopard girl, but how to make her his? Soon Nell finds herself the star of Jasper's show. Suddenly she is famous. Crowds rush to watch her soar through the air. Figurines are cast in her image. Even Queen Victoria wants to see her perform. But is Nell free to live and love as she chooses? And when her fame begins to eclipse Jasper's own, could she be in danger? After all, the higher you fly, the steeper the fall. I don't have many books that are set in a circus, so this will be very interesting and different for me. It gives me kind of The Greatest Showman kind of vibes, you know, that famous circus man whose name escapes me right now, but it gives me that kind of vibes. The next one is Rebel Skies, and this one looked really, really interesting. It's written by Anne C. Lynn. And this looks really, really interesting because it says one girl against an empire. And you know I do love those types of books. It says Mikoshima is an empire in turmoil. The sky cities and the groundlings are battling for power. And the air is filled with ferocious paper spirits that are loyal to no one. When they destroy Kurara's home, she joins the crew of an airship to become a spirit hunter. But her ability to bend paper to her will means so much more than she knew, and the true battle is only just beginning. Which side will Kurara choose? Paper spirits. Okay, not heard of any other book that has anything like that. Maybe Sorcery of Thorns with its books that come alive and change into monsters. Maybe, I don't know. But paper spirits, like paper, and it's an airship. So I normally love books about that are set on ships. This is an airship. That's different. So I couldn't resist it. Just could not resist it. The next, I bought the third book in the Beautiful series. This is The Righteous by Renee Ahdieh, which is the third book, as I say, to The Beautiful. Last month, I bought 2 copies of The Damned. What I meant to do was buy this, not The Damned, because I'd already bought The Damned. So I went out and I bought The Righteous. I haven't even started on the second book yet, but hey, the 4th book is out later this year, I do believe. And I think that's the end of the series. And this is a series about vampires. I won't go into the synopsis of this one, with it being the 3rd book, but I think this has something to do with vampires in New Orleans. And I did enjoy the 1st book, which I got from Fairy Loot. But I do need to continue the series. So I bought The Righteous. And then the next 4 books, so you could say that these were outside of my allowance. Can you tell from the bright colours of the spines what type of books these are? Yeah, I bought some contemporary. What is going on? I didn't just buy 1 or 2 or 3. I bought 4 contemporaries. I don't know. To be fair, a couple of these were going really cheaply on Amazon. I think I picked up 2 of them for like £3 each. Snapping that up, because if I'm going to be buying contemporaries, I'm going to be buying them at a cheaper rate, just in case I don't like them. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Beach Read by Emily Henry. If you watch my July reading wrap up, you will know that I read her other book, Book Lovers. And it was shocking, my reaction to that book. Absolutely shocking. My jaw dropped. So I want to read something else by her to see if that my reaction to Book Lovers was a one-off, or whether this is my new thing. So I'm going to be picking up Beach Readers. 2 writers, 1 holiday, a rom-com waiting to happen. So yeah, let's see what that is about. The next one, I bought another Emily Henry, because like we need to check this. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. So I bought You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry. And it says 2 best friends, 10 summer trips, their last chance to fall in love. So yeah, we're going to see if my love of Emily Henry is a thing now. Because if it is, then great. I can read more contemporaries, because I want to have this variety of books on my TBR. I don't want to be continuously reading the same thing over and over again. The next one I picked was The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, and this is because I have watched the Netflix show, the Netflix motion picture, which is on this sticker that is non-removable on this damn book. Don't you just hate that? I loved the film, really thoroughly enjoyed it. Will I enjoy the book? I don't know. We will test it. We will see. And see what I think. And then the last one I bought was this one, which is Set on You by Amy Lee. And as you can see from this picture, we have a plus size main character. So this one says curvy fitness influencer Crystal Shen built her career shattering gym stereotypes. Go girl. After a recent breakup, she has little time left for men, instead finding joy in the gym, her place of power and positivity. Enter firefighter Scott Ritchie, the smug new gym patron who routinely steals her favourite squat rack. Soon sparks start flying. So of course a man is going to come in, they're going to battle it out. Haters to loves. We're going to see. But I'm glad that we have a plus size main character who's not ashamed of her weight, who is still fit, because obviously, you know, they can't be seen as making obesity a positive thing. So yeah, I'm excited for this. My idea is that I might, if you're interested, let me know in the comment section below the video. Do you want to see a reading vlog of me reading some contemporaries? To finally decide, do I or do I not like contemporaries? We're going to find out definitively. Do I or don't I? Let me know and I can do that for you. I can do a reading vlog, which I don't do reading vlogs very often on my channel, but I will if you're interested. I'm thinking about it. And if you want me to, that will definitely push me to do that sooner rather than later. So that is it. That is all the books that I bought in July. Not mad. Not mad about it. What can I say? I love books, okay? Always have done, always will do. As a kid, I was always known as the girl with her head stuck in a book. During my 20s and early 30s, well, even late 30s, I was too busy being an adult and a single mum to really read very much. I read a little bit. I was very much an avid collector of Virginia Andrews books for a while. Pretty much had a whole bookshelf full of just Virginia Andrews books. But yeah, I've recently got back into it since 2019 and I am not mad about it. I am absolutely loving being surrounded by beautiful books. They make me happy. So no regrets at all. My point system is just really there to keep me in check so I don't go too mad buying books, because I could have bought more. I could have bought more in July. I was just in that spending mood, but instead I bought some makeup, which I shouldn't be doing that either, but you know, it is what it is. I was just in a mood. So yeah, that is it. That is my book haul for July. Are there any books on here that you like the sound of that you'll be adding to your TBR list? Let me know. I know some of you sit there with a pen and paper and write them all down. Or really you're like me, just take a picture of the screen when a book comes up that you like the sound of. And my phone is literally full of pictures of book recommendations, Animal Crossing codes, and food. Lots of food that I've taken pictures of. I don't know why. I don't know why that's a fascination with me either. But anyway, that is it. That is my book haul for the month of July. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye! Squeaky, squeaky table. Squeaky, squeaky table.